Welcome back. I'm glad to have you guys here. We're back for another part of the LS build. This episode's definitely sponsored by Brian Tooley Racing. If you don't know who Brian Tooley Racing is, they're pretty much your one-stop shop for LSX parts. The link is going to be down below. You guys have no idea how cheap budget LS stuff is. So in today's installment of Kyle Never Gets Anything Done, we're going to start putting together our heads. So the reason we're starting with the heads first is that I did make another order from BTR. Travis over at BTR, he hooked me up with some LS7 lifters, some ARP rod bolts, and some ARP head bolts, and I'm just waiting on those to show up before I can assemble the whole long block. So what we do have is our heads. They're a 799 cast, and while we were getting the cam bearings put in the block from Charlie at AMS, he actually went ahead and he lapped all the valves. So our valves are all marked on the valve, and then they'll go into their according spot. So after we put our valves in, I only have this janky little tool, the C-clamp one, and if that doesn't work, then we're gonna have to rig something up with something. I don't know. We have our LS guidebook to go by. I in no way have any affiliation with these guys, but it's been super helpful. We have a turbo that doesn't belong to this engine, it belongs to my car, but I have to put it in the shot every time, just so you guys know that I'm pretty cool. And then obviously have all our valve spring gear. These might be hard to compress. Now before we get into that, I'm going to tell you some real shit on why we're actually doing the dual valve springs and why you need them actually, because you see, now we're going to try and make this fun. So I'm going to probably cut up a piece of cardboard and I'm going to draw some shit, and I can't draw, so we're going to make the best of this. Here's our tiny piece of cardboard. I'm going to draw some shit real fast. That's me. So with your big cam duration and boost on top of that, you're gonna need some new springs to prevent valve floating. And what valve floating is, so you know on your camshaft that it looks like, I have a camshaft to show you with. I might actually butcher this explanation, but this is the stock camshaft, so that's why I don't care that it's all dirty and stuff. But you can see that the little lobe thingies, they're like egg shaped, right? So there's this peak and then the bottom part that is like the bottom of the egg. And when you get bigger with your camshafts, the little point gets higher and the actual duration of the point gets longer. So what do I do with my marker? I just had it. Am I that retarded? Oh, it's in my pocket. Okay, I'm drawing an egg. That's our egg. It's not a very good camshaft, but that's what it is. So the camshaft, the egg is gonna bump up your lifter. That's a lifter. And that's gonna push the push rod. That's a push rod. Into your rocker, which is gonna push down on your valve. And your valve is going to push back the other way with a spring. So, in our little diagram, we have me with this thing, our camshaft, the lifter, push rod, rocker, valve, and spring. Let's just say we're Jimmy Half-Ass and we replace our camshaft with a high lift camshaft and we don't replace our spring. So what's going to happen is, so if our thing is rotating this way, on this part, so in this part of the cam, when it's rolling over, pushing up on everything, it's gonna work fine. But the problem is, on the descent part of your camshaft, when the spring is supposed to push back up on your rocker and down on this part of everything, and follow the back side of the camshaft, it can't do it fast enough because your spring pressure isn't good enough and your valve doesn't go up fast enough. And then when your piston, yeah, it's a piston and a connecting rod. And then your piston comes back up too fast and your valve's left stuck down because your spring pressure isn't enough. So when your piston comes up, hits your valves, and then You dicked her, bud. That's it. You dicked her. And all you had to do was replace valve springs. Mic drop. All right, so now that we're past my semi-retarded explanation of why you're gonna need valve springs, this is what we do have. Make sure you put your spring seats in first before your valve seals, because if you put these in first, then these aren't gonna fit over top of it, and then you gotta take these out, and then they might not be reusable, and then you dicked her again, boy. And they just sit in like that. That's it. Done. We can leave. See you guys. So it's gonna go seat. Then we'll put our seal on top of that one. And then it goes spring. And then retainer. And then valve locks. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put this in. And then to install these, you can use a socket that's perfectly the size of the thing and just tap them on. Bam. Sweet deal. Oh, what a nice guy Charlie is. He actually wrote 1, 3, 5, 7 on our heads so we know which valves go where. And then on our corresponding valves, look, that's number 8. Which means this one should be 1. That one's 5. Oh my god. You couldn't even put them in order, Charlie? Now I've got this strange feeling like our janky ass C-clamp thing isn't gonna be big enough. That's 7. I have to find 7. That's 2. Oh, that's like the maximum limit it has too. Now when putting these little keeper things on, if you use a dab of grease on just the keeper itself, it'll keep it held onto the valve stem while you retract your tool. Just a little tip. One keeper. We did it. We got 1. We did it. 1 in the bag. So now we might have a problem because the first one I could go on the side over here, but if I have to go over top, I don't think our tool is gonna reach. Damn it. Damn you, tool. You and your face. Now the common tool to use actually bolts into this hole, and then once you pull down on this hole, it'll pull the spring in. But we obviously don't have that tool. So what's our solution here, boys? Do we use this hole and build a thing? So what I can tell from on the internet is this is gonna go here. We're gonna have to cut a notch out for the valve to come through, and then we're gonna have to use this bolt there, so. So if that pushes here, we're gonna need something like that. Clearly my hood rat shit friends show up. LOL Neon. LOL Neon. You got Wendy's.
Ooh, I smell burning.
Yeah, I was grinding.
I was gonna say, maybe that's me. They're all locked up, aren't they?
I don't know, probably. Is this actually working?
It looks like it.
Oh, I hit the valve though. I think it's actually working. Come on, you jerk face. Did we just do a thing? I think we did a thing. Buddy! Homemade Skrilla. Homemade Skrilla. Getting it done. Piece of scrap metal. Better take all the burrs and stuff off it so we don't get any extra metal in this bed. I'm sick. Sick cunt. I'm a sick cunt. Look at that. Look how good that looks. Why am I don't know why I have that head still. Look how good that looks. I like it.
So then,
I got a tape ring to it again.
talk to her.
Wait.
I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, I have a GDM P28 swap in it. I'm like, Jesus Christ. So then we start talking.
You're here to disappoint them.
They don't smash me in the mouth somehow.
Yeah.
Gotta thank the captain for this one. Yeah, this one's for you, Leahy. I think Captain Morgan should sponsor me. That'd be a good sponsorship. We'll make a new YouTube channel. Drunk Building. See how long stuff lasts.
What can I weld?
These heads? Weld the valve spring shut.
Look what's going in the Mustang.
That's going in the Mustang now?
Going in the Mustang.
Is there
You can have it if you want. Being serious right now, on camera. If you want that motor in your car, we'll put it in your car
I
right
do
now.
want it in my car.
Okay. It'll go in. I'll give it to you this season.
Ken,
It's yours. You can have it. I'll watch your race this season. Just thinking hard about it.
I've already priced out a cylinder head
Write in the comments, do you want to see this motor in his car?
and make 2,000 horsepower.
That motor's not making 2,000 horsepower.
The one I build will.
This one? That's another 2J block and crank. What are you using?
Is it stud finder? Found one.
Oh, it's on his dick.
Hey.
You're not supposed to wear sweatpants in videos anymore.
You.
Once again, this episode is sponsored by Brian Tooley Racing. Make sure to go check them out in the link down below. That's all we're going to do for this episode, and we'll be back next time with more parts and more things, and then we can assemble a long block.
Drink some more.
And drink some more with Captain. Peace!